Although we all have different biometrics, different harmonics in our voices, and we all differ in the aromas emanating from our body. Yet when it comes to the matter of happiness, we are all identical. And everything that any of us does, from morning till night, is in the pursuit of that one thing called happiness, joy, bliss, maja, anand, peace, contentment. Why is it that we are all seeking happiness? Did somebody teach us to do so? We were taught so many things from childhood. A, B, C, D, K, K, G, Gh. In fact, we did not even recognize our mother until we were taught. This is your mother, beta, say mummy. And then we found all these adults pointing towards some lady and repeating mummy. We said, all right, let's go ahead and say it, mummy. The point is, even the tiniest bit of knowledge did not come by itself. How then did this piece of wisdom come that I must pursue happiness in my life? I should not make misery as my goal. There is a deep reason behind the pursuit of happiness. And that is explained satisfactorily amongst all the philosophies of the world, especially in the Vedas. The Vedas explain to us that the Supreme Divine Personality from whom we all have emanated is an ocean of bliss. Sat, Chit and Anand. Satya Jnanananta Nandamatraika Rasamurtayah. The Srimad Bhagavatam states, Anandamatra Karapadamukodaradi. The Padma Puran says, the hands, the feet, the head, the body of God is all Anandamay, full of bliss. Satyam Vijnanam Anandam Brahma, the Vedic mantras have said, Ananda Sindhu Madhya Tavavasa. All these scriptural quotations are expressing the idea that God is an infinite ocean of bliss. And we souls are His tiny fragmental parts. Just like a drop is a fragment of the ocean. A small piece of stone is a little part of the mountain, and a lump of mud is a part of the earth. So the earth pulls its little parts to itself through the force of gravitation. That is why the apple fell on Newton's head. Now we all know that apples always fall down. Has anybody heard of an apple falling up? But Newton was possibly the first person in history to contemplate about that point. Why did the apple fall down? And he realized there is a force in creation called the force of gravitation, where the earth is pulling its fragments towards itself. Likewise, as tiny fragments of God, we are pulled towards Him. Since He is an ocean of bliss, we experience that pull in the form of the urge for bliss. However, the problem is that so far we have not found the bliss which will satisfy our soul. We do relish the various pleasures in the world. But our soul says, this is not my happiness. Give me such a happiness which will be infinite in extent, which will remain eternally and be ever fresh. That kind of anand. Yo vai bhumas tat sukham nalpe sukham asti. As per the Chandogyopanishad, we have not yet got. And hence, the search for happiness continues. Do you know since when we have been searching for happiness? 20 years, 30, 40, 50 years? No. This pursuit is not of one lifetime. It is since innumerable lifetimes. That's right. The soul is eternal, just like God Himself is eternal. I once asked a little girl, Beti, where is your father's house? And she said, Swamiji, it is in front of my uncle's house. Now that was not any useful information, so I said, then tell me, where is your uncle's house? The little daughter responded, it is in front of my father's house. So I said, Beti, I understand that your father's house is in front of your uncle's house and your uncle's house is in front of your father's house. Can you please tell me, where are both of these houses? She said, Swamiji, they are in front of each other. Well, likewise, if somebody asks you that you are listening to pravachans of Swamis, can you please tell me, since when have we souls existed? You can respond by saying, we have existed ever since God has. And if the person asks you a second time, since when has God existed? You can respond by saying, ever since we have. And if the person asks a third time, since when have we, the souls and God existed? You can say, since when even time did not exist. Because aksharat sanjayate kalaha. When God creates the world, time begins. Before creation, at the time of dissolution or Mahapralay, there is no time. And the soul, being eternal, has existed since then. So our pursuit of happiness is an eternal one. And why have we not got it so far? Well, the reason is surprisingly simple. We are looking for happiness in the wrong direction. Why so? We have been covered by ignorance. We souls have our backs towards God. Now God is all knowledge, all light. When you turn your back towards the light, what you will have before you will be your own shadow or the darkness. Likewise, we souls, we have our backs towards the all-knowledgeable God. Hence, we have been covered by His material energy called Maya. And what did Maya do? It made us forget our identity as the divine soul. And now, under the illusion of Maya, we are thinking of ourselves to be the body. This is the viparyaya, the reversal of the intellect. There was once a table with 3 mice playing below and a bottle of whiskey on top. A cat jumped onto the table and knocked the bottle over, thereby smashing it and spilling the whiskey onto the floor. The mice they drank the whiskey and became tipsy. One mouse said, "Main Raja, I am a king." The second mouse said, "I am the emperor of the world." The third mouse said dismissively, "You both become whatever you wish to. For my snack today, I am going to go and eat that cat." These mice, their intellect had been destroyed by the inebriation of alcohol. Likewise, the material energy Maya has destroyed our intellect. And three problems are a consequence of it primarily. We are looking at the temporary things of the world as permanent. My house, my relatives, my wealth, whatever I own and possess today will always remain. We forget. All this is made of mud. It will all be snatched away. We ourselves are not permanent. The second, we are mistaking the pleasures of the senses to be sources of real happiness without realizing their miserable consequences. And hence pursuing them all our life does not make us happier individuals. And the third mistake is that we have confused this body made of pus, blood, stool, urine and mucus to be the self. We, the soul, are fragmental parts of the Supreme Soul and hence divine in nature like God. He is Vibhusat, Vibhuchit, Vibhuanand. We are Anusat, Anuchit, Anuanand. Tiny, but having the same nature. And yet, we have decided that I am this body. And hence, the confusion. What is that? Let us read about it from the Art and Science of Happiness. If we begin our computation from the premise 2 plus 2 is equal to 5, what will happen? All subsequent equations derived from it will be erroneous. Even further, with every computation, the mistake will keep proliferating. This is called a compounding mistake. Likewise, our body is made from earth, water, fire, air, and sky. It is a part of the world. The soul, in contrast, is divine. It is a part of God. However, the mistake we made is to forget our soul nature. We identify ourselves with the body, and hence our goal becomes attaining the pleasures of the body. What should I see to get happiness? What should I taste to feel blissful? What should I touch to get pleasure? In this bodily concept of the self, we chase the delights of the material senses, offering them to the divine soul. The problem is, no matter what we do, the soul within says, "This is not my happiness. Give me the happiness of God." Just as if you were to take a fish out from the water and decide, "I will make it happy." You put it in front of the air conditioner at an amenable temperature. You massage it with perfumed oils, put a blanket over it, open its mouth and feed it espresso coffee or even its chosen food items. Now the poor fish cannot speak. If it could, it would say, "I want none of these. If you wish to make me happy, throw me back into the water." Likewise, We can go for vacations to Goa and the Las Vegas. We can live in huge palatial bungalows and surround ourselves with the luxuries of the world. But our soul within says, I am still not satiated. I want the divine bliss of God. So how will we get that divine bliss? We shall discuss in the next episode of this series.